You're listening to the Broadway Podcast Network. Visit bpn.fm to discover more.
Hello, I'm Jesse McAnally.
And I'm Andrew DeWolf.
And I'm Liz Eston.
And welcome to Musicals with Cheese, a podcast where I try to get Andrew and Liz to like musical theater. And, oh my gosh, a star.
Yo, fuck this.
Yo.
Are we doing... We're not doing a fucking gag for this shit.
Look, I was going to do a thing where I was going to say my grandpa wants his wish granted and he's old as fuck, but I'm not going to go there.
do a thing
it's not
and
even
Andrew
worth it.
You cut it off.
No, we're not doing the thing. Okay, like, this is so fucking lazy. We're...
This is the most mid thing I've ever seen in my life.
It does
More
not
like
deserve it.
mid-snee.
This is one of those things where it's like, it's bad, and then everyone says it's bad, and I get the feeling that there's gonna be people who are backlashing the backlash and are gonna be like, actually, I thought it was fine.
It's
And
actually pretty good. No, it's not.
No, they did that with the fucking Star Wars prequels, and you're not doing it here.
Episode
Okay,
3
this
isn't
movie
that bad.
fucking blows.
Episode 3 is the
isn't
worst
that
one.
bad. It's a pretty good movie.
Nope, episode 3 is the worst one.
How dare you?
Episode
It's
2
pretty
is
good.
the worst one.
Episode 2 has things I like and I find interesting, and it has historical value of being the first big-budget film to be shot entirely on digital and change the entire cinematic regime. It has...
That's a bad thing.
That's not good.
good and bad.
Also, Carrie Fisher is the script doctor on that movie.
She should have done better.
Should have done more work with it.
Me and my friends got together and we were like, we should watch the first Star Wars prequel, Phantom Menace, because it will be
Phantom
funny. It'll be
Menace.
so funny. It's so bad it's good. And it's not so bad it's good, and it's not good. It's really fucking boring, and we all fell asleep.
I kind of like the Phantom Menace.
How dare you?
I think it is technically the best of the three.
How dare you?
That's really saying
That's
something.
really-
because
no.
that movie
The
sucks.
movie's so bad. It's mostly trade agreements.
It is not mostly trade agreements. It is mostly Jar Jar Binks.
He's
Wish.
a newer character. He's a funnier character than we've ever worked with before.
You know
Yeah.
who else is a funnier character? The
No one in
goat,
this movie?
Valentino.
Oh
If they can get him working.
Yo, fuck Valentino. He sucks.
He's a funnier character than we've had in a Disney film. He's
It's a stylistic choice.
his butt rounded. Wish. Cue the music.
So I look up at the stars to guide me and throw caution to every warning sign. I'm sure there will be challenges that find me, but I can take them on one at a time. So I make this wish to have something more for us than this. So I make this wish to have something more for us than this. Hey, more than this. So I make this wish to have something more for us than this.
So I make this wish. And
And
I
that,
like that it has the Frank Wildhorn songwriting style.
Wish is a film written by Jennifer Lee and Allison Moore with music and lyrics by Julia Michaels and Benjamin Rice, based on a story conceived by Lee, Buck, Virsa Thorne, and Allison Moore. Wish
And Bud and
and Bud and Doug.
and Bud and Doug.
Yeah.
No, Bud and Doug would have had a few jokes that made me laugh.
Something about jelly beans.
Wish had its world premiere at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood, Los Angeles on November 8th, 2023, just hours after the end of the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike was announced for the 12:01 a.m. the next day, with Chris Buck, Fawn Virsa Thorne, Jennifer Lee, and Disney CEO Bob Iger in attendance, and Asha, Mickey Mouse, and Minnie Mouse walking the blue carpet in the cast place while featuring a live drone show above the theater. Mickey Mouse is a fucking scab. The plot of...
So is Asha.
Yeah, Asha. Yeah, she would have definitely scabbed this. So the plot of Wish is Asha, a sharp-witted idealist, makes a wish so powerful that it is answered by a cosmic force, a little ball of boundless energy called Star. Not even trying with the name. Together, Asha and Star confront a most formidable foe, the ruler of Rosas, King Magnifico, to save her community and prove that when the will of one courageous human connects with the magic of stars, wondrous things can happen. What the I mean, I am equally as baffled by that plot synopsis as I am by watching this movie.
Look, they couldn't name the star Luna because then it would be too
Yeah.
obvious that they were just doing Mario
We're
Galaxy.
brothers.
Bro, remember when I was gonna make y'all see this in theaters, and instead I was like, let's
Oh,
just
Oh
do
yeah,
Mulan.
let's watch Mulan
Fucking
instead.
God.
What a
I
gift
think
you
that is
gave
like
us.
one of the kindest things I've ever done.
We shouldn't have done this episode.
No, we
This episode
shouldn't.
is a
We
mistake.
shouldn't have watched this. Why
You
did we
know-
watch this?
For the views. Sincerely.
No one
We're
cares
not-
about this.
People don't like negative criticism anymore. Like this is going to go terribly. People are going to compare us to Cinema Sins and Nostalgia Critic.
Nostal Critic.
Nostal
You know, not to be that guy, but have you seen the Nostalgia Critics view count lately?
I
It has
check
been
it
like,
every once in a while.
A
It's
slow
so bad.
diminishing kind of thing.
I mean, he hasn't been good since ever, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Wish.
Wish.
So,
All right.
hot take.
Oh boy.
Don't you dare.
Frozen was a fucking fluke, and ever since then, the creators and minds behind that have yet to recreate the same magic. And okay, this is gonna. So when
It's gonna
John
be mean.
Lasseter
It's
was
gonna be
ousted
mean.
from Disney a few years ago for being Lotso Hug and Bear all over the place,
Oh no.
God, why'd you put it that way?
That's-
Ew.
That is one way to
because
put
he
it.
was
Okay.
known for hugging people. That
I
was like his
know.
thing, and it made him uncomfortable to be around. So he was Lotso Hug and Bear all over the Disney studio. So when he was ousted, the two people they put in charge of Disney Animation was Pete Docter, who directed a lot of relatively good Pixar films you would consider like Finding Nemo, Inside Out, things like that, of high quality, and Jennifer Lee, who is the director and co-writer of Frozen. That had been really Jennifer Lee's only big writing and directing credit. I don't believe she did anything big before that, but after that, it's not been great. Not to be one that diminishes her work as an artist, but she's kind of continued to shit the bed ever since then. So her next follow-up was directing and writing A Wrinkle in Time for Ava DuVernay. That film is hot garbage. I don't know if anyone's seen it.
I have. It is hot
No.
garbage. Can't confirm.
It is hot garbage, starring Chris Pine as well. Then following that up with Frozen 2, which on Disney Plus, there was a 9-hour documentary showing the exact way she kind of destroyed that film from the inside. So specifically, she was speaking in very general language, and she had songwriters Bobby Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez involved in that. And I don't know if anyone recalls the plot of Frozen 2 because it is a nonsense hodgepodge, much like Wish. There's a voice that is like the linchpin of that entire story. And 4 months from release, the songwriters had no idea what that voice was. And when they would ask their director about it, she would give vaguism answers like, it's just a feeling inside. And they're like, what, how are we supposed to write a song about this? And she's like, it's just the motivation to be stronger. And she's like, well, no, we kind of need, if this is a plot point, we need to know what it is so we can write this song about it. And the fact that they almost pushed it back, right? They were making that film basically down to the wire, overworking their animators, and it's all because the director didn't have their story together, mostly because they were also directing, writing, and running the studio at the same time, which I would recommend anyone doing. And then we come to Wish, which is their follow-up to Frozen 2. They wrote the screenplay and ran the studio and made a lot of the executive decisions. They are kind of the final word on a lot of this, and it has all the same problems.
Maybe it's time to take a closer look at Frozen and see if it's maybe it's not a fluke. Maybe it's not as good as we remember.
I think it's a fluke because it did hit with the zeitgeist, and the songwriting and narrative is effective in Frozen in a way that it hasn't been since.
So we're going to talk about the songs later. So why don't we talk
Yes.
about the storytelling first, which basically every aspect of this movie fails miserably.
Yes.
So we can really start wherever we want, and it's going to be the same discussion. So
Yeah.
Let's start with the animation because I kind of want to get that out the way.
Sure.
They were going to start with traditionally animating this. That was their intention. That did not work out because about 10 years ago with Princess of the Frog, they laid off their entire 2D animation division. They do not have a workflow to get that done, and so it is literally impossible to achieve this. Even in a small way where they wanted the Star character, named Star, to be 2D animated, and they couldn't do that either because they just don't have the workflow through it. So they do this 2.5D look where it's very obviously 3D with like a gross filter over it, and it looks bad.
awful.
I didn't hate it. I hate it personally. It's interesting. It doesn't look great, but it's interesting. It doesn't look like Tangled Part 17, which a lot of these Disney movies feel like to me.
Yes,
So I give it credit for that. Did they execute it well? Hell no. The backgrounds look awful. Like,
I'd almost preferred if the backgrounds looked the way they did, but they just had like the tangled characters. I feel like that would actually feel like an intentional design choice, where
Yeah.
here it just feels like unfinished work.
yeah, it is nice that the characters don't all look like Rapunzel, because all the female characters have looked like Rapunzel since Tangled, basically.
Yes.
With like slightly different eye size. So
I would
that was
argue-
nice change.
Encanto really took a step away from that.
Yeah, Encanto is kind of the outlier in that, but like the other main ones, yeah.
God, I miss 2D animations so fucking much.
So we all know Nimona, which I believe was released by Netflix.
Yes, that was a
Correct me if I'm
Netflix
wrong.
original, yes.
That was supposed to be released by Disney. Disney owned the rights, but they did not release it because they thought it would ruin their brand. And they released Wish instead. And you know which one's nominated for an Oscar this year? It ain't Wish.
It's Nimona.
So the animation looks bad. It is ineffective. Doesn't add to the story. And I think I would have been more okay with it if the story actually worked, which it does not.
Oh my god,
It's so
the
bad.
story.
It is so bad. Also, she's
So-
supposed to be 17 and she looks 25.
Yes.
Like,
She,
ugh.
Asha.
The main
Awesome.
character doesn't have a character arc,
No.
really.
She doesn't really have a goal outside of my grandpappy wants to sing a song and he should know that he wants to sing a song. The initial concept is too abstract.
Which kind of would be fine if they had a really solid villain to kind of carry it like some Disney movies do. The problem is the villain doesn't have a clear fucking motivation. He doesn't make any sense.
He's not evil until like half an hour or an hour into the movie.
Well, he kind of is though. Like he's evil, but he's good evil.
Yeah,
It's like they wanted to do a twist like they did in Frozen, but they also wanted to have a classic evil Disney villain. So they kind of just did both, which doesn't work at all and doesn't make any
No.
fucking sense. So like he's like a good guy who protects their wishes, but he's also evil because he doesn't want to grant any of the wishes, but then he becomes like evil because he starts consuming them. And my thought, me personally, just looking at this and thinking, how the fuck do you make this story good? Just have him be a fucking warlock from the beginning who's devouring the dreams and or the wishes and using it for his magic and just not telling anybody and keeping it a secret. And then somebody finds out. Like literally, you just do that from the start. Like, why have it be like introduced? It doesn't make any fucking sense why they would do it this way.
Well, he's like also like evil with good intentions, like you mentioned, for the most of the movie. And then Asha makes a wish on a star, and then the star shows up. That's basically a star from the Mario Brothers movie, but a different color that doesn't talk. Anyway, then the one magic event occurs, and his poor toxic masculinity is so broken that he immediately turns into an evil warlock because one little thing goes wrong and 3 people ask him questions. It's like, well, I'm an evil sorcerer now. Like, what the fuck, man?
It's fucking absurd. Like, and it would have just worked better if he was just fucking evil. Like, from the start. Like, I don't know.
Okay, here's a pitch. What if he wasn't the king? What if he was like the royal advisor, and he was like the magic royal advisor, and
like,
he was
like the royal vizier,
like the royal vizier.
This is all your fault, Jafar.
And he lusts for that royal power, and the scrappy person learns about his evil doings and wants to try to kind of stop it. What if we had a situation like that? Like other Disney films had.
Yeah, like that Barbie movie we watched.
You moron! Idiot! Ugh.
Yes, that... you're not wrong.
Wait, Barbie, the new Barbie, or...
No, he's talking about Barbie, the Princess and the Pauper.
Oh, yeah! I was gonna say, that sounds like Princess and the Pauper to me.
Yes.
A better movie than this.
Sadly, it is.
It really is.
I didn't even like that. And
Martin
it's better.
Short in that movie is a more compelling villain than Chris Pine in this one. And his song fucks so much more than This Is the Thanks I Get.
That song.
Oh god, I actually can't wait for the second half because the songs
I want to
in
rant
this
so much
are
about
just...
these awful songs. Like,
but we have to wait. We have to wait. The
have to be
songs are in the
patient.
second half.
You gotta stick with us, kids.
you gotta stick with us to watch us rant about songs.
I am so baffled at the existence of this. So $200 million was used, and a lot of animators' sweat and tears to make this film happen. And there's some great talent. Like, I feel like we gotta play fair. I love Ariana DeBose. Liz and I did Schmigadoon recaps where I'm mostly
we were
simping for her.
It was very simpy.
And she is not a character in this movie. She is a vessel to push the narrative forward and not much else.
Yeah. Like, also, I've had crush on Chris Pine since I watched Princess Diaries 2 in 2005. I'm pretty sure the first time I watched this movie. And I've had crush on Chris Pine ever since, and it's been nearly a decade since I've seen that movie. And I hate him in this. He is just evil for the fuck of it, and he has no fucking nuance. Like, oh my god.
And I thought from the commercials, and this is my bias, because I just saw, the trailers, This Is the Thanks I Get. I assumed he was like her dad, and she was like a proper princess.
No, her dad is dead,
I kind of
like
thought
in
that as
regular
well.
Disney movies.
Yeah, but I'm like, wouldn't this be so much more compelling and more difficult and a little if you had to turn your back on your like complicated father, like we had an evil stepfather as opposed to an evil stepmother? Like that would have been a fun play on traditional fairy tale tropes. Like
Which is what
I
they're
know
going for, but they're not succeeding at.
And that just falls nothing. There is no relationship between them, so there is no like deeper connection between. It's like we could have had a Frollo Quasimodo relationship with Asha and the king, and it's not like you have any source material. They're just kind of she applied for a job with him and he said no. That is the height of their relationship.
Also, her best friend like works at the castle and she can go whenever she feels like. Like, what's the rules of this kingdom?
Her best friend, like she has an entire friend group that apparently all work in the one room.
She has an entire friend group, which I don't know anything about.
What are you talking about? There's the sneezy one, the dopey one, the happy one, the grumpy one,
the sleepy one.
The sleepy one.
Yeah. We know.
You get it? You get it?
We get it. They're the dwarves. Also, one is voiced by Evan Peters, inexplicably.
And one is voiced by the guy from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Perito from Puss in Boots.
Hey, do you want to overanalyze the morals of this children's film
Yeah,
that's
let's go.
terrible?
I know if you can hear our frustration, but we are very frustrated as a collective group.
Frustrated doesn't even begin to.
Yeah.
I think it's important with fairy tales. The moral is kind of the important part. There's a reason why Sondheim ends Into the Woods with a very clear moral sung to the audience, like, careful the things you say, children will listen. They may not obey, but children will listen. Like, careful what you say to kids, because it'll fuck them up. It's a good lesson. This, I don't know what I'm supposed to learn. I don't know what a child is supposed to come out of this with.
I got an idea here. All right, I've been cooking. I've been in the kitchen.
I can't wait to
It's
eat
like
your meals.
1984 or something.
This is 1984.
George Orwell's, you mean?
Yes. So it's like you give the government your wish, and then they take it from you, and the wishes are coercive and they can ruin everything. So the government has to hide them and protect them, right? But really, what the people need is to protect their own wishes, you know, and drive for themselves, like in a capitalist society where they're all entrepreneurs making their own wishes happening.
It sounds more libertarian.
Kind of, yes.
Like, we need less government involvement in our wishes. We need to make our own wishes come true.
It's like what conservatives think 1984 is what I should say. Does that make sense?
Yes. And we do get some Big Brother imagery when Magnifico becomes the magic mirror.
True.
Yeah, that's a reference.
Because the goal of the hero here is not to grant everyone's wish. She doesn't really give a fuck about that. In fact,
no one's wishes gets granted.
No one's wish gets granted.
No, that's not true. Simon's wish gets granted, but he turns evil.
Yeah, Magnifico is the only person who actually grants any wishes, and he's evil. So what you actually need is you need to, you know, buckle down, work hard, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and grant your own fucking wish. Don't ask the government for stuff.
You know what? Disney's telling you, fuck your star wishes.
And at the end, they don't even the queen, who is good, doesn't grant wishes anymore. She just links up entrepreneurs together. You go to her for advice, and she's like, well, here's this other guy who's trying to start his own business, and I think you two would fit perfectly together.
This guy is dressed like Peter Pan. You like to fly, right? Go with him. Boom.
Please, Madam Queen, my colorectal cancer will take me any day.
I don't grant fucking wishes.
Well, fuck you.
You better pay for fucking health insurance. They tie everything in. Everything gets tied in, right?
Yeah.
So, like, now she's the fairy godmother because she has the wand and she dresses in blue and she doesn't say bippity boppity boo.
Yeah, she wears the cape from Cinderella during the movie. That's another reference.
I mean, yeah, there's like 100. This entire film is made out of references. There's a fucking deer named Bambi, and they say, hey, thanks, Bambi, and like all that kind of shit. That's the kind of movie we're in. We're in a multiversal movie where they're too lazy to even include the multiverse. You know what would have been a better reference movie? If they had just fucking done a Kingdom Hearts, like fucking Sora comes in and then all the Disney worlds are all together, because that is just as valid.
Literally releasing a new Kingdom Hearts would have been a better 100th anniversary special.
100%. I don't even like Kingdom Hearts.
I like literally just doing a little Kingdom Hearts TV movie where you get to travel through all the worlds and celebrate them. That is a better 100th anniversary special.
Why does Disney fucking suck at celebrating their anniversary?
They're so bad at it. Like, oh my god.
They're really bad. Remember when they ruined their own theme park by putting an ugly fucking hat in the middle of it?
Oh yeah, they did! Yes!
Tore that fucker down, didn't they?
Fuck
That was the 75th anniversary, I think.
so.
That was 15 years ago.
Let me check.
Disney is the kings and queens of shooting themselves in the foot and not understanding what audiences want. Because when they hit with the zeitgeist, they really hit. Like Moana, I think is like some of their best work ever, truly. Because they brought back Musker and Clements, who were the heralders of the Renaissance. And here we've got Jennifer Lee, who got lucky with Frozen once, runs the studio, and has not made a good movie since.
I think really the issue with Frozen is like Frozen itself is kind of fine, but there's no lessons to learn from Frozen because it's pretty much just mid. I mean, a lesson for the studio to learn because like Frozen is just kind of a mid movie that's sort of connected with kids.
Yeah.
You know, and like you can't base an entire strategy on that because like there's not really anything there. So trying to recreate it over and over, like Frozen 2, like just fell on its face, you know, like
Yeah.
It made $1 billion though.
Yeah, but
I mean, as a movie,
as a
though,
like as
financially,
a quality movie.
it's a different thing.
And they're already making Frozen 3 and 4. Yes, both of them together.
Can't wait for them to not give Elsa a
they've been working
girlfriend,
on-
and then people yell on the internet.
They've been working on Avatar like 2 through 9 for like 10 years.
Yeah.
now.
2 came out.
Well, we just got. Well, the third one's gonna take another decade, so like, be patient.
No, the third one's coming out next year. The thing is, he was making them all at once, so they're gonna
That's-
kind of
that's
come out
dumb
every
as
other
shit.
year.
I've never seen Avatar. I don't know.
Apparently, all of them are filmed, and now it's just putting the CGI over it.
Okay, so that's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
My favorite joke is always that no one can remember the main character's name from Avatar, and I genuinely cannot.
His name's Jake Sully.
It's Jake Sully.
Jess always remembers the character's name, but every time I say that, I don't remember the character's name again.
It's Jake Sully. But without looking at the description, would you have been able to remember Asha's name?
No. I don't remember anyone's name, honestly.
Asha's not a character. I
Asha's
remember
the only Asha and Magnifico are the only characters I can remember the name.
Yeah, well, Asha has one scene of development about her dead dad, and then no more development, but she gets one scene.
Wait, can we go off for like 3 minutes about the fucking goat?
Oh my god, the goat. Let's go. I hate the goat.
everyone's favorite
Fuck
character,
the goat.
the goat. So let's talk about Alan Tudyk and his role in the Disney animation world for the last 10 years.
Is he the goat?
He's the
Yes,
goat.
he is.
Yes.
He has been in
Good
every
Lord.
Disney animated film in a good long time. They're considering him like their new good luck charm with films. I believe it started with Wreck-It Ralph, but I could be wrong there. Yeah, it started with Wreck-It Ralph, and then he has been in each one, including Frozen, Big Hero 6, Zootopia, Moana, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Aladdin, Frozen 2, Raya and the Last Dragon, Encanto, Disenchanted, Peter Pan and Wendy, Strange World, Once Upon a Studio, and Wish. He has been in every one of them, and usually he's in a not particularly noticeable role. Like he played the parrot in Aladdin. He was the Duke of Weaselton in Frozen. He was Duke Weaselton in Zootopia.
Ha ha ha, funny humor.
The big joke.
Ha ha, so funny.
But and he was the chicken in Encanto. The chicken in Moana.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he was definitely not he was Pico in Encanto.
Yes,
I don't know what Pico is, but.
Me neither. He sometimes does really good with the role. Like I really like his interpretation of King Candy in Wreck-It Ralph. I think that's a really fun character. But he flew a little too close to the sun with this one, and truly it is unbearable. Makes me yearn for Jason Alexander Gargoyle in a way.
Well, the thing is, the goat doesn't talk for the first, half hour. So he's just doing goat noises. And then the magic starts, and he runs over to the magical star, and he's like, I want to talk, because I'm a noisy goat. And then he has a deep-voiced British accent, and it makes
Patrick Stewart style.
He sounds like Patrick Stewart, and it makes me want to throw my computer across the room the minute he starts talking.
Remember when Patrick Stewart played a piece of shit?
I do. I watched that movie.
It kind of reminds me of that.
I drank half a bottle of giant wine, and I watched that movie.
That sounds like a good time.
It was.
We should do the emoji movie.
The comedic sidekick character is always the worst part of these kids' family movies. I really wish they would stop doing it, but I think kids genuinely do love it, which is the problem.
Yeah.
Kids kind of ruin everything, including kids' media.
Well, I also think back to when I was young and thought Pumbaa was funny. So, I see where they're coming from with the additional of the sidekick funny characters, but they're just not good anymore because they don't have any, character besides being the funny animal sidekick.
There's only been one case where it's worked, and that was Robin Williams as the genie. That is literally the only time it's worked, and it's because the narrative suited that very well. And the tone. One of the things I actually particularly liked about this current Disney Renaissance is they allowed the characters to be quirky as opposed to relying on all the humor to come from the sidekick. That's part of the reason why I think Tangled works so well. There are sidekicks, but none of them are like the main source of humor. The source of humor comes from the character work. Same with Encanto and Moana. Like, there are sidekicks, but they're not like, and here's the funny fucking lightning rod that's just going to be only funny comes from them, and you're going to wish you were dead.
Yeah.
Fucking Mulan actually has that.
Mulan does have that, arguably. So.
Yes, but also Mulan uses it sparingly enough, and it fits the narrative Mulan
also,
pretty well.
Also, the soldiers are funny, too. So, and their plot... They're actually involved in the plot. Why did that do that? Anyway, I didn't even put my thumb up.
Also, Eddie Murphy reminds me of the fact that Shrek exists. So
True.
Shrek has ruined all of narrative. Speaking of Shrek, Andrew, didn't you have a Shrek moment in this movie?
Oh, they end the movie with the fairy tale book closing, and I was just like, someone's got to make that where Shrek starts right there.
Okay,
we all remember the opening to Shrek, right? And how he uses that book.
The opening to this movie, though, that prologue goes on for a while. Like, so I usually when you see the Disney film, and this is trying to be a callback to like the older Disney films where they open the book and we start in. You have like one line of like exposition, then we dive in. This has like a good 2 minutes of like, and the king gives the wishes, and you put your wishes toward the king. And I'm like, God, do I have to take fucking notes? And I did, because it did not help me follow this narrative at all.
You take notes?
It's genuinely it's like a very like actually convoluted kind of premise.
Yeah. It's like so many questions.
I feel like we haven't gone into the premise enough, which is a town makes wishes and they gives the wishes to the king.
Well, it's
only
more
sometimes
complicated than that. Well, the king is the king of a kingdom that he opened himself because he wanted to give people wishes because he realized he wanted to be magical one day because, clunky. And then he opens the Kingdom of Roses, the most lazily named kingdom in all of Disney. And then he takes your wish when you're 18 and keeps it safe. Quote unquote. And
it's like The Giver.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's The Giver. This is The Giver. And then we didn't kill any babies in this. And if we had, it would have been better. He also has wish-granting ceremonies, like, every couple months, maybe? It's unclear. And he will give someone a wish as long as it's not threatening to his masculinity. Yes, and he just kind of keeps the wishes. But the thing is, if you give your wishes, you no longer have your wish, which means you don't remember what your goal was. So imagining having a goal, and then, maybe I'll do this goal, and then you forget what that goal was. Yeah, The Giver sucked.
I love The Giver. I think that there's too much going on in just the premise of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, thinking to like Disney Renaissance films where they were like really good, I feel like usually they don't have this much like detachment from the real world. Like, it's always like fantasy, but this is like just, we created an entire thing. Everything is different. Nothing is like the real world at all. Like, wishes are real.
Yeah.
There's a new kingdom that the king grants the wishes, and you give the wish to him when you're 18, and it's just like,
and you only get one wish.
To anything. I can't relate to any of this. What are you talking about?
I've never had my mind erased by giving a wish. It's like when we get into the colonialism is the bad guy from Frozen 2 because Elsa's great grandfather did bad things, and I'm like, what?
At least that's relatable for me, because my great-grandfather did colonialism.
Oh, yes. I think all of ours did.
Yeah.
It is a baffling kind of story. And if you have a complicated story like that, like, you really need a songwriter that's going to rein it in and explain it well. So I would pick the writer of the song Sorry by Justin Bieber.
She wrote that song?
She
is
did.
Is that the like? It's too late to say sorry.
Yes, she wrote that
Is
song.
that the song?
Oh God.
Good Lord.
I actually kind of like
All right,
that
we have to
song.
do. Can we do the mid show and then talk about the songs? Because I feel
Well-
like
Or
we're
is
at
there
that
a
point.
letterbox game?
Before we do the mid-show, we've got to compare our opinions to the real critics over there on letterboxd.com.
Yeah.
It's time for previews.
It's time for previews. It's time for previews.
All right, guys, I'm going to try to do a speed round through it. If this is your first episode here, this is a game where I pull real letterbox reviews, and I'm going to read them to Liz and Andrew, and they're going to go head-to-head, guessing based only on the review alone if it's a 1-star or a 5-star. Are you two ready?
Ready? So
I'm always ready for Letterboxd.
I keep losing,
Hell.
so I'm just gonna embrace that I'm losing all the time.
You know what? I believe that you can do it this time,
This
Liz.
movie might have broken me, so I don't know.
I don't blame you. All right. Liz, why don't you go first?
All right.
There's so many good ones. Oh my god, this is good. Gonna put the goat into a meat grinder.
What? I mean, same, but yeah, 1.
That was a 5.
Damn.
I was equally baffled. Andrew,
Yeah,
Disney Sonic 06.
that's a fucking 1-star.
That is correct. Liz,
I'm ready.
just continue wishing, period.
That's vague as fuck. 5.
That is correct.
Yay!
Holy shit.
I'm on the board.
Andrew,
Yep.
everyone's upset that they didn't make the king and queen an evil couple duo, which, to be honest, it was more girl boss of the queen to betray her own husband when she knew it was the right thing to do instead of staying with him.
I mean, you were describing the plot of Don't Worry, Darling. So good on you.
Who fucking cares if it's girl boss? It would have been cool if they were fucking both.
Yeah,
evil.
seriously. I mean, girl boss, they were evil.
Gallivant. Gallivant is cool because they're both evil.
Can we do Gallivant?
Me and Andrew tried, and
I
then he
know.
stopped showing up.
Yeah, I'll do it.
True. This is a 5-star because they're defending the fucking movie.
You are correct. Liz,
Yes.
euthanize Valentino.
I've never heard one more accurate
I have
than that.
I've never related more to a letterbox review in my life. 5?
That is a 1.
It feels like I thought it was a trick, maybe.
Andrew,
Yeah.
I wish they beat Valentino with a hammer.
My favorite part of the movie is when he does the Zootopia reference at the end. He was like, "Oh man, we should make Zootopia."
Oh yeah, he does say that.
How does he have the context of what a zoo is?
That's a deeper
whatever.
question the movie doesn't want to answer.
5 stars. Beat him with a hammer.
That is a 1-star. Liz,
Yes.
why was the goat wearing clothes?
That is a good question. It reminds me of those dog shirts that like people like put on their dogs to look cute, but they have open butts so they can still poop. Like,
Yeah, my mom does that.
oh, I hate that. Oh,
She wears that?
Yeah.
She wears like the one shirt and an open hole for her to poop. She does listen to this show. She comments on a lot of things, so I hope she heard that.
it's quicker. That is a 1. Go.
That was a 5. Andrew,
Yep.
was Lin-Manuel Miranda really that busy?
Probably.
Yeah. Fucking 1-star.
That was a 5. I didn't understand it either.
What?
Okay.
Does he like
Yeah,
Lynn or do
yeah.
you hate Lynn?
I don't know. Liz,
Yes.
justice for Magnifico.
No, fuck Magnifico. He sucks.
He's hot though.
He is kind of hot. I'll give
I
him
don't
that.
know. If there's any villain that I'm just like, I don't really care if he wins or not, it's this one. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty
what
mid
do the
on
heroes
him.
have going on? what do the heroes have going on?
I've never heard it summed up that well, but yes.
5 because they like the king.
Wrong 1.
Damn.
Andrew,
Yep.
they voted.
They voted?
They voted.
For what?
Oh god, this is how we ended up with Joe Biden.
They all voted. Well, Joe Biden, obviously, we all got to take our wishes to Joe Biden every year, and he decides one of them to get granted. Sadly, nope, don't go there. All right.
I think I've left all my wishes with Joe Biden,
Yeah,
and that's why I
same.
feel so fucking empty now.
And that's why we're doing a genocide right now. The wrong person got the wish. Maybe
Yeah.
Magnifico was right.
Donald Trump would have been done with the genocide already.
Magnifico was a great man with a great legacy, you know, and we like him for that.
Yeah.
Doug Walker was one of the best to ever do the job. The 5-second movies. He started with the 5-second movies, and he moved on to Nostalgia Critic. He had to make his own website because YouTube, they didn't like what he was saying, and he had to he had to tread his own path, and we respect that.
I think this movie broke us.
Doug Walker is my running mate for 2024,
What was the review again?
and I really do
Doug
believe
Walker.
he will.
Yeah, Doug Walker, I'm Casper.
I'm vice president.
He will bring a neutral party, and he has no issues, and he will definitely vote for me when I bring insurrection in. He will bend backwards for me at the first drop of a hat.
Douglas Yancey
Oh,
Walker
God.
up in his Nostalgia Critic outfit, running for vice president with Donald Trump.
That is his uniform. I just love the imagine Doug Walker in a debate with Kamala Harris.
It's even worse. Doug is wearing his Halloween outfit.
Yes, Doug Walker debate with Kamala Harris.
No,
I
he
did-
cycles. He cycles. He does the Nostalgia Critic one, then he wears the donut T-shirt one.
Oh yeah.
And don't
And
forget
then
the
the
Doug
Halloween
Bum
and
reviews.
the Christmas suit. Yeah, he has a Christmas outfit. Yeah.
He
I just
does
love,
bum reviews when he's talking with the people.
Yeah, so he's relatable to them. Anyway, Jess, what was the review you told Andrew like 20
Chester
minutes
A.
ago?
Bum is out here today. Would you believe it? Chester A. Bum.
Chester A. Bum used to be great. Doesn't
Santa
really do it
Christ
anymore.
goes out just to relate to like small town folk.
Okay, Andrew, be Doug Walker for a quick second.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Walker, I think it is time we have to bring up the change the channel document. You've been avoiding this question this whole night, and why are you booing me? Why are you booing me? Just because my competitor here, who's running with Mr. Trump, is afraid of the truth. These people brought the truth, and he has been hiding their stories for too long.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic.
See, he's just going on. He's going on like nothing happened. That's always what he does.
I don't remember what you're talking about, and I don't have to.
He brings out Mike Michaud.
Oh no!
That whole thing was Mike Michaud's idea.
Yeah.
Mike Michaud and I have had a professional agreement,
Anyway,
and
back
he
to the topic
he
at hand.
owns the Nostalgia Critic name.
Anyway, back to the topic
This is the
at
topic.
hand.
This is the topic at hand now. Donald
What
Trump
was
is
the
running.
review you told Andrew like 20 minutes ago?
I'd
Don't
like to
cut
announce
any of
Donald
this.
Trump. I'd like to announce Donald Trump as my running mate for president. He's gonna be my vice president now.
You know, he made a good argument.
Anyway,
he has
the
a
topic
platform.
at hand,
Angry Joe will be
everyone.
my Secretary of Defense.
Anyway, the topic at hand.
And of course, Mr. Linkara will be the Secretary of Interior.
Linkara.
Anyway.
We need to start our own podcast called like That Guy with the Glasses Broke Our Brains or something.
You know what I pitched for our 300th episode spectacular? Usually we do a trivia contest. I said we should just do a marathon of all the Channel Awesome
Oh
films.
god, I think I'm actually crying.
All right. New podcast. Okay. That guy ruined my life. That guy that ruined my life.
But Andrew, tell us a little bit about Patreon.
Oh man, Patreon is where you can go to get more, give us money and get more for your buck, bang for your buck for content, and we have the videos up there. We covered Angels in the Outfield for some fucking reason.
We're gonna keep doing those, I think,
we
Andrew.
gotta do the sequels.
Probably-
We gotta bring me in on the sequels.
We're gonna cover Alvin and the Chipmunk, the Squeakquels.
But
we're
only the
covering-
Only the
squeakquel.
squeakquels.
Well, we might cover Chipwrecked as well.
Shipwrecked
He's one of the
fucking
squeakquels.
blows.
It's Chipwrecked.
Shipwrecked, not shipwrecked.
It
Chipwrecked.
blows.
Shipwrecked.
Our current patrons are Danielle Renix, Jess the Stampede, Ewan Cassidy, Monica Thoreau, Brent Black, Nathaniel Stacey Coon, Joseph Evans Green, Lou Choquette, John Vanels, Russ Walker, Musical Hell, Emily Gracie, Kyle Summers, Janae Skeets, Hooten Technical Greencoat, Nothing is Certain Except Beth and Taxes, Thesvian, Robert Benjamin, Jessica T, Mitchell Young, Chai Teacup, Chris Marcotte, Kiji Marie Anastasio, Trevi Joseph, RJ Noriga, Julia McLannon, Bjorn Hermans, Toriana Frazier, Sammy the Adequate Amount Jacobson, Kaylee Blazier, Cinemageddon Reviews, Villainous Miss, Sofina Ali, The Omega Geek, Paige Pearson, Maddie Wargle, Eliza Erdman, Anna Loskatova, Sarah Den Blaker, Evan Ball, Zachary Torres, Rora Marasso, Mara Foloin, Lisa L., Possessed Washing Machine, Puffy Boy, Sydney Hicks, Anna Bell, Billy Clifton, Gold-Plated Kiki Mora, Julia Balder's Daughter, Hut Muttbutt, and Emma. This is where he would usually jump
This is
in.
when Jess jumps in and says, "This is they give us a little extra money and stuff like that."
They give us a little extra money to help keep the lights on here at Musicals with Cheese. So check us out on Patreon. Also, we have merch. We never talk
Yeah,
about
we
the
have
merch.
merch.
Once in a while, we should mention the
We
merch.
have a Patreon only
We have merch.
podcast too that we should probably bring back soon. So check that out if we bring it back. Anyway, some
What did I do?
backlogs.
And we're back. We're gonna go back into the show.
And we're back in the show.
So the songs in Wish.
Holy
fuck.
Okay, here's my issue, all right? This is a 100th anniversary, right? So somehow, in the 100th anniversary special celebrating all of the Disney movies, they couldn't manage to make any of the songs sound like classic Walt Disney. They couldn't make them sound like Disney right after Walt Disney died. They couldn't make them sound like the Disney Renaissance. They couldn't make them sound like Lin-Manuel Miranda Disney. So instead, they just sound like fucking Justin Bieber songs.
Yes.
Why?
And the worst thing is it's Justin Bieber trying to be Disney, which is almost like it has no identity. Take, for example, the opening number, Welcome to Roses.
Welcome to Rosas, come on, come this way, where the greatest creations are all on display. There's no other place just as full of surprise, where your dreams and your reality can collide. You wanna dance on beat, or to have hair touch down to your feet, go to outer space. Well, hey, you've come to the right place. 'Cause here in the city of roses, you can turn all your wanting to wishing, no worries and no wonders. Oh, here in the city of roses, it's unlikely that you'll be unhappy with so much to discover. A home for me, for you, and all of us. The city of roses. So like.
This song very much feels like a classic Disney opening number. Belle, the Family Magical. I see what they're trying to do. However, it doesn't work. It is general. It is wild. And I wish I had talked about this more, but the framing of this film, meaning the actual shots that we look at, it's not like it's not thought out. It reminds me a lot of the Anastasia movie, the animated film, where the camera is like 5 feet away from any action happening. And I know it's weird to talk about a camera in an animated environment, but it feels like we're watching a stage play in a weird way. You know what I
Not
mean?
in a good way.
Yeah.
No. It feels very voyeuristic, very unpleasantly uncomfortable, where I think an animated camera should be close, effective, and moving, and energetic, and as engaged as a character. And this feels like locked down and 5 feet away and just do whatever you're gonna do, Toots.
I really have a problem with this movie as a 100th anniversary special because I feel like you only get one fucking chance to do a 100th anniversary celebration of all of your shit, right? And somehow they just didn't do anything. Like, it's the most lazy, slapped together piece of shit. And like,
I can't say that. It's not slapped together. A lot of artists and creatives worked really hard to make this piece of shit.
Yeah, but like,
okay, how long did they give the songwriter to write these songs again?
yeah, tell us again.
So each song took about 3 weeks, and that was all they gave them. And they gave them almost no information about the song. And that was what I was going to come to when we got to the I Want song. I Make This Wish, I believe it's called. Wish.
It's called Wish, yeah.
So there was an interview with Julia Michaels, I believe her name is.
Julia Michaels, yeah.
She said, like, oh yeah, they just gave me 3 weeks, said turn in the song, and I turned in the first draft. That was what they were fine with. They told me that Asha was this ambitious girl and she's about to make a wish. And got no information. And therefore, we have nondescript generalization because I feel like Disney just wanted another top 40 hit. And a lot of top 40 hits are not really specific. And this person, Julia Michaels, got a lot of their work done through, as we said, pop songs, like for Justin Bieber and folks like that. So let's take a look at these lyrics.
I have them up too. So.
The first line, it's not even just the lyrics. It's about where the beats hit. Isn't truth supposed to set you free? That just already feels so weird in your mouth. And starting it with like a word where the hit is on the first word, as opposed to like is the hit. That is where your voice hits, and it just feels awkward, as opposed to like something like Tale as Old as Time.
Isn't truth supposed to set you free? Well, why do I feel so weighed down by it? If I could show them everything I've seen, open their eyes to all the lies, then would they change their minds like I did? But when I speak, they tell me sit down. But how can I when I've already started running? Oh, this is where we've been, but it's not where we belong. And I may be young, but I know I'm not wrong. So I look up at the stars to guide me and throw caution to every warning sign. If knowing what it could be is what drives me, then let me be the first to stand in line. So I make this wish to have something more for us than this. So I make this wish to have something more for us than this.
This song is so lost in whatever it's trying to say. And instead tries to play with like generalized metaphor as opposed to actual specificity. The chorus alone, I think we made fun of. We throw caution to every warning sign, which is literally gibberish.
It's just you're taking a saying and literally just like
you're taking two
throwing
sayings.
out its meaning.
You're taking two sayings, mixing them together so they mean nothing. So you could either throw caution to the wind, which means you're kind of giving up caution, or you're ignoring every warning sign. If you put caution towards every warning sign, you're being very cautious about the warning signs you see. Am I wrong?
It's the opposite meaning.
Yeah,
it's
the
literally
opposite.
it's not that it doesn't mean anything. It means the opposite of what you wanted it to mean.
Yeah.
And now on your face you have the chorus, so I make this wish to have something more for us than this. What don't you have? Not to be that guy, but what is your specific thing that you feel like you and your town are missing out on? It's not like where Belle's like, I want so much more than this provincial life. I want adventure in the Great White. Like, she has a want. She wants, well, he's not really giving us our wishes, but we all seem happy. But like this metaphysical idea of people should know what they want and what their ambitions are. you could turn that into an interesting I Want song, but saying, I want to have more for us than this, so I make this wish to have something for more than us than this, twice in a row, it means nothing. It is literally nothing. And what we follow that up with is, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 more than this, oh,
Also, I will point out there is one there's like only a couple annotations on these songs, is who cares. And the unreviewed annotation on the warning sign lyric is, whoever wrote the song was probably drunk when they wrote it, because throwing caution every warning sign is not a thing.
Okay, can we backtrack for a second, because I need to talk about At All Costs.
Wait, I am down. Let's go.
Wait, what is At All Costs?
That's the song. I don't blame you for forgetting it. It's a song between Chris Pine and Asha when they're just looking at memories.
Fuck that song.
If happiness was a tangible thing, it would be you. If you'd have told me the feeling you'd bring, I'd think it untrue. And people search for a wonder like you all of their lives. You still amaze me after all this time. You pull me in like some kind of wind, mesmerized by the hold I'm in. Leave you here, I don't wanna. I wanna promise as one does. I will protect you at all costs. Keep you safe here in my arms. I will protect you at all costs. At all costs.
This song is where I knew that this movie was gonna be fucking dog shit. Like, you get to this song, and I may have cut this because earlier I brought it up, but I may have cut it because of where I said it, but it reminds me of Frank Wildhorn, because we've talked about how he just writes songs that don't have any fucking meaning at all, right? Like, it's just all vague and all, but I think it's worse than that. It's like far worse than that, because they're singing about how, in the movie, what they're supposed to be singing about is how they would do anything to protect these wishes that people have, right? But it's a love song. It's so clearly a love song written between two people.
Do you mind if I read the lyrics to prove your point?
Yeah, go ahead.
The chorus is, and I promise, as one does, I will protect you at all costs. Keep you safe here in my arms. I will protect you at all costs, at all costs. And if you're feeling like you're lost, I will come find you. Man, all fronts, there's no ocean I won't swim across to be right by you. And they're singing, not about each other. I know how you might think it, but about memories, like the general idea of memories.
They're singing about the wishes in the sky. That's what they're literally singing about. They're protecting them.
Balls of memories and balls of wishes are so different. I might have gotten confused with Inside Out.
Completely nonsense. It's fully, they just took this love pop song that has no mention of wishes, no anything at all, and it's the second fucking song.
I've never seen Andrew this actually angry.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh my god.
Like, he's actually, you can see how angry he is. You can't see this, but he's so angry.
It is unfucking believable. Like, you just took a love song that should be played on the radio that's just generically about how I love you, and then you're like, no, this is a Disney song about how, like, the king and the main character both want to, like, protect these wishes. Like, that's what it's about. Even though wishes here are a vague you.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of the early One Direction, where they didn't sing about a specific girl. They sung about you, who is any girl. Like, we love the things about you. They're non-specific as fuck, but we love them
You
about
don't know
you.
your beautiful wishes. That's what makes you beautiful. Wishes.
My favorite, though, is One Thing, because it's a song about one thing they love about you, but they never tell you what that one thing is. It's just like, you have that one thing. I'm not going to tell you, because you want to insert it in yourself, but you have it, and you're hot, and you're 13.
This song is so bad to me. It's just unreal.
And I don't see many people talking about it, but you are so fucking right.
Well, I think it's because I legit forgot it happened. Because I was just, like, so out of it by the time we got to that second song. I'm just like, what? Is this a song? And then, like, as soon as the scene was over, I forgot they sang. Like,
and it's a duet between the protagonist and the antagonist.
Which is a cool idea.
Which is very cool. But I genuinely forgot it happened by the time we got to the massive I Want song. I'm like, oh, that song didn't happen.
Like, oh my god. How do you fumble the ball so bad?
I mean, I could do the same thing Andrew did about the villain song, but I won't.
Well, I still want to hold on to this song. Another reason why I think the song horribly fails, the visuals. Like, it's such a cool idea to be among these wishes, and you could have done something visually incredible with, like, such an abstract idea. You could have done something like Shiny, where the colors change. You could have done something more interesting, floating, magical. He is a magic warlord. He could have done anything. And they're just kind of standing around a room full of white balls. Blue balls.
Wait, did Disney write? I'm on genius.com. Did Disney write this annotation?
Which one?
Which one?
No, they didn't.
For which one?
They did. For at all costs. Okay, so
I don't see any annotations on mine.
Okay, it's like a description.
Oh, a description,
Though Asha has been informed that the king will not show her where he keeps the wishes, blah, blah, blah. Her interview impresses him enough that he does this without being asked. While she sings about their beauty, he sings about the need to keep them locked up.
No, he doesn't.
Are we reading the same fucking lyrics?
No.
There's only one line that I could even say you could interpret as him wanting to keep them locked up, and it's, I will protect you, keep you safe here in my arms. But there's a fucking problem. Asha and the king both sing that same line later in the fucking song.
I don't think this was written by Disney. It's credited to a user that doesn't seem to be associated with them.
I have a question, and it's like conspiracy theory. I think they, in a previous draft, because this is the vibe I'm getting, maybe King Magnifico was Asha's father. And this was just kind of like a general, like, father-daughter love song. Or maybe this was originally written between Asha and the grandfather character.
Or maybe this was written between Magnifico and his wife.
Maybe.
So,
There's a lot of things.
We have talked about this song too long.
Yeah, we need to move on to the boring I Want song.
We already talked about the boring.
Okay, we can move on then.
This is the thanks I get.
Yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go.
This became the meme.
This is probably the best song in it.
No.
You don't think this is the best song?
No, it's awful.
I mean, if you're looking for nuggets of gold and shit, yeah, this is probably the closest thing to
that's what I
shininess.
mean. Like, I don't think it's good. It's just, I think it's the best song.
I can't help it if mirrors love my face. It's genetics. Yeah, I got these genes from outer space. Peep the name, I'm magnificent. I put the I and I'm omnipotent. I'm passionate, I'm not petulant. Someone praise me for my benevolence. Just look. I'd give the clothes off Benito's back. If you really needed that, I'd be the first one to volunteer. Henry, if your home were to crumble, or if you were in trouble, I'll let you live here for free, and I don't even charge you rent. I clean up all your messes, and I'm always there when you need to vent. I give and give and give and give. You'd think they'd all be content. And all I really want is just a little respect. And this is the thanks I get. This is the thanks I get. And this is the thanks I get. And this is the thanks I get.
It's like a bunch of piles of shit in a corner. It's like this one has slightly less flies than the rest of them.
It's so.
This song frustrates me so much. Like, I can't even.
Well, elaborate, please.
Okay, let me explain. I fucking love villain songs. Like, the fact Disney got rid of villain songs is, I fucking hate it. Like, I love me some Hellfire and some Poor Unfortunate Souls, and that one song for The Little Mermaid where they sing about killing the crab. Like, that's my favorite song of The Little Mermaid, unironically. I fucking love that song.
Le Poisson.
Yeah, that's my favorite Little Mermaid song, and I genuinely mean that. This song sounds like it was written for, like, an intrepid hero who was done wrong by a society and he's doing his best. This is not written for a guy to turn evil all of a fucking sudden. Like, this is a Justin Bieber song during his apology era. Like, it's fucking ridiculous how vague it is. It sounds like a Justin Bieber song, genuinely, its orchestrations. And all of a sudden they add a verse at the end of it just to show he turned evil. It sounds tacked on because the music fucking changes to be completely different than the rest of the song.
And the time signature changes, and the same thing does happen in This Wish, where suddenly it moved from like 6/8 time to 4/4, and it just kind of drives me crazy. And then I'm like, why'd they do that? Then I remembered Moana exists, and I'm like, oh, Moana did that. So I feel that, but I agree with you. You hit the nose right on the head where you got it. Let's see, I did what the songwriters did. It mixed two sayings so that was gibberish.
Dare you.
So I feel like this is a song that they wrote for like Justin Bieber, and then that last pre-chorus before the final chorus was literally the only thing they've added, which was there's a traitor in this town. I still remain unbent. Come out now. Explain yourself. I'm sure it was just an accident. Well, whoever finds him first. Now that's a wish well spent. Honestly, keeping you safe is worth every cent. And then the chorus is, this is the thanks I get.
Da 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 da.
No, da. That is all the words.
Da 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 da. This is the thanks I get. Da 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 da. And they all sound the same every time it goes through. It doesn't change.
Credit to this. It is probably the most visually interesting song in the show.
The movie.
Whatever. I'll bring up Doug Walker again if I don't like where this conversation's going.
Oh God.
I wish I had more strong feelings about this song, but it's just it's so lame. It doesn't have like a villainous feel to it. You know, it doesn't feel like a villain song. It just feels like a pop song.
I know there's some lines in it about kingdoms and wishes and stuff, but it feels like it was tacked on. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Can I show you one genius annotation before we move on? And this is for the line, and you still complain ungrateful much. Are you sure that you're not the prob? Here is the annotation. Why don't you just read this, Andrew?
Shortening of the word problem. It's very cringe.
I've never seen such a judgmental genius annotation section in my life. Aside from, like, you are my rose from The Room. That being said, let's move on to the last song. I actually have anything to talk about, and that's Knowing What I Know Now, which could have been a neat song idea. Like, I kind of like a gathering the forces kind of song. It could have had the energy from Make a Man Out of You, but it doesn't, and most people don't remember it's even in the movie.
You've been deceived. Magnifico is not the man he claims to be. He's more vicious than I could have ever comprehended. When I made a wish and star came down, this is not what I expected or intended. But now that it's happened, I don't regret it. Cause now I've seen him show his true colors and shades of green. Saying that your wishes aren't safe because of me, and that's a lie, 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 lie. And I know I can't do this on my own hand. If it's not us, then who and when? If we don't fight, he knows he wins. Not allowed, knowing what I know now. The lengths he'll go, there's no amount. I won't sit back, watch this play out. That's my vow, knowing what I know now.
Yep. I mean, we know about Asha, and it is pretty cool when the Queen comes in, and that's about it. Like, I felt like, oh, that's neat that when the Queen's on their side. I felt a little bit of joy. It's like when Jar Jar says, "Misa going home" at the end of The Phantom Menace.
Misa going home.
You know, it's like, hey, yeah, we Issa going home. That's the exact emotion I felt when the Queen joins in.
I don't even have any strong feelings about this one. It just exists.
It is probably the most effective musical theater number in it. And then the movie just keeps going until eventually you just wish you wish you hadn't invited this in. And every day I look back in November when we covered Mulan instead of Wish, and I'm very grateful for my actions because I cannot imagine how unwell I would have been watching this in a theater with other people who might have been enjoying it. I would have resented them. I would have hated them. If I could make my wish, it would be removing this. I would like to remove Wish from my memory. Magnifico, please just take this from my memory.
So, just one thing, because I think this is like that scene, but do you remember that the king's wife, like the queen and that girl were both looking at the book trying to find like a answer or anything?
Yeah, I remember that scene.
Does anything ever come from that?
Bro, I don't know.
I don't think so. Because I think it just gets worked out differently.
Yes. Fucking
This movie sucks.
This movie is such a waste of fucking time. Oh my god.
I like the star.
Yeah, but I would rather watch the Mario movie.
Just go play Mario Galaxy.
Holy fucking
watch the
shit.
Mario movie.
Holy shit, guys.
What?
Guys.
What?
There's 2 deleted scenes
What?
from Wish.
What?
And I need to talk about one of them. Actually, I need to talk about both of them.
Okay.
Because one of them, originally, when he takes the fucking star into him,
That's a weird way to put it, but yeah.
he steals the star, and then they put the power into the fucking goat and use the goat to take down Magnifico to save the day. Like, I swear to God, I am not making this up. I'm watching this with my own 2 eyes. They use the goat to destroy Magnifico. I just needed to say that. And also, a deleted scene, fully animated, a completely cut song where they actually have the fucking grandfather sing his fucking song that was so important that it's the inciting incident of the movie.
This movie looked better in the early animation stages. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it did. It was a better movie. It could have been something interesting. But sadly, they decided they wanted to make garbage. Speaking of garbage, what is our overall thoughts on Wish and our cheese ratings? Andrew, you go first.
Oh my god. This is like I don't know. It probably feels like I like being really negative because I get very passionate and like fiery during these type of episodes sometimes. I don't really like doing negative criticism though. I feel like it's unproductive most of the time and it just feels like shit.
Feels like nostalgia critic.
But like really, what the fuck else do you say about something like this? There is no redeeming qualities really. I genuinely feel like this movie came out around the same time that AI art was starting to become a big conversation. And I don't think it's a coincidence that everyone started saying, like, was this made with AI? Like, it kind of feels like it. And I don't want to diss on the artists or whatever, but if you are hired as an artist to make shit, I'm sorry, you made shit, you know? Like, it's not your fault. You got paid to do it, but that's kind of just what happened, you know? I don't know. Fuck. So I guess I'm gonna give this an AI image of a piece of cheese where it has too many fingers and there's hair in the wrong places.
And it has an AI voice of Patrick Star.
Patrick Stewart.
All right, Liz.
I think either this movie broke me or this podcast broke me. I haven't decided. But
why not both?
I think might be both. This movie frustrates me to no end. Is like we all grew up watching these movies. Like it's big parts of our childhoods. Like how we like get into musicals in some degree. And this is just bad in a way that I can't like describe. And not to discredit the artists who worked very hard on this. They did their best with what they were given, which was dog crap, and you can only do so much with that. Like,
look at our show.
Like, Ariana DeBose is great, but if you give her a piece of poop, she's not gonna do so hot. like in your movie. Like,
Look at Kraven the Hunter
Yeah.
and Argyle.
yeah, I don't know. My mom's gonna want to see Argyle probably. Anyway, this
The fuck is Argyle?
That new movie with Bryce Dallas Howard that they accidentally spoiled in their original press release.
Yeah, it's really funny. Look up the Discussing Film tweet about it. But yeah, it's bad. It's just straight up bad. There's like no redeeming qualities I can even conceivably think of, and I'd rather watch my paint dry than this again ever. I'll probably listen to that villain song again to figure out why it's so bad and why am I fascinated by it. But like, that's it. Anyway,
This is the thanks I get.
yeah, that one. I might listen to it again like a day from now just to figure out if I hate it or like it. I can't figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to give this movie a cold Mickey Mouse grilled cheese. The cheese isn't melted right and the bread isn't very toasted and it's kind of bad, but it's made by Disney. So,
Man, that's almost what I gave Roadshow.
damn. I mean, you gave a good Mickey Mouse grilled cheese. I gave an undercooked cold one.
Wish is bad, guys. I was really hoping to be like the ones supporting this, like the underdog. Like, you know what? It really isn't that bad. I feel like people are no. For once,
You just
the
texted me
consensus is
last
correct.
night, like, Wish is so bad. And I'm like, I know, right?
It is like a situation where it's like, you know, usually when you have these like hate mobs, you're like, you know, oh, well, this is being led by some shithead
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
doesn't like that there's a woman in it or something, or like, you know, or they're just overreacting because it's not quite like the source material,
Or the main
something like
character
that.
isn't white, so they're mad, like, things like
Mhm.
But like this one, this is genuinely just a really fucking boring movie that it feels like almost offensive because it's just like this is your 100th anniversary movie and you fuck it up this bad.
it feels like
Like
a
you're Disney. You have infinite money to make a perfect celebration movie where you make songs that reference all the eras of your movies, because you could have the creepy old man choir sing a song. You can have some classic Disney numbers. You can have Disney Renaissance type numbers. You can bring in Lin-Manuel to write one of the songs. But instead you make the laziest fucking, I don't know. Okay.
Like, I'd rather have them reboot the House of Villains show from the 2000s than this fucking crap, because I'd rather watch that.
Oh, you
That
mean
actually
House of
sounds
Mouse?
pretty
House,
fun.
no, the
House of Mouse is great.
No, the House of Villains, like the very specific spin-off where all the villains hang out in a cabaret and like talk.
I think that was a TV movie, but
Yeah.
It was. It
I'd
was a
rather
good
have them
time.
do that again. Yeah.
So my cheese rating, and I don't think we've used this. I kind of saved this as an ace for like something that really made me wish I wasn't alive. This is Kazu Matsu, which is known as the dangerous cheese. It is a cheese where there's a 50-50 chance it might kill you. It is created by leaving whole Pecorino cheese outside with part of the rind removed to allow the eggs of the cheese of fly Pifolia casei to be laid in the cheese. A female P. casei will lay more than 500 eggs at one time, which is basically like maggots. Maggots come and eat the cheese, and you have to eat the cheese while the maggots are alive. If any of the maggots are dead, you will probably die.
That has been used before.
Damn.
What
did I use it for?
Bree used it in an episode once. I know that because we made it into a video and I had to look it up and
Damn.
get a picture of it. So
Bree, you're so much
Is that a
smarter.
real cheese?
That
It's-
is a real cheese.
yeah.
Do people actually eat that?
Yeah, it's very popular in Sardinian aficionados eat it, apparently. It doesn't look terrible. Like, looking at this, I'm like, oh, look
No,
at
it's
that.
disgusting.
There's maggots in that?
Yeah, it's rotten.
So I feel like being eaten from the inside out, but somehow still alive, is probably the most effective way to describe this movie.
It might be the most effective way to describe the Disney company right now.
Okay, Andrew, I know this is a little outside of our place, but you watch that Universal announcement. Like, it looks cool, right? Like, about the new theme park.
Oh, the theme park? Oh yeah, yeah. I've known about that theme park for a little while. I know that they've been putting a lot of work into it.
And when is the last time Disney has done anything even close to that interesting in a theme park? Probably Star Wars World.
Star Wars World. Yeah, probably.
Is that even close to that interesting though? Like, let's be
No.
real here. Star Wars World is them just taking one of their franchises and fucking destroying one of their classic parks to add that into it.
I don't know. Like, I hate Harry Potter, but the Harry Potter world does sell money, makes money.
I've been
the Dark
there.
Universe.
I've been there. It's kind of
pretty
sick.
cool. It is.
Yeah.
The Dark Universe pitch, where they will have Halloween Horror Nights in an entire section at all times, sounds fucking badass. I really like what they're doing, and I think that just Disney is dropping the ball across the board in every facet of their creation, from Marvel to Disney to Star Wars.
I think Disney spent a fuck ton of money collecting franchises and then oversaturating the market with them, and now they don't even know what to do without them. Like, they don't know, now that the MCU is kind of like not a thing, they don't even know what to do. They don't know how to make an original movie. They clearly don't. Like, what the fuck was this? What was this?
Like, just make movies based off of fairy tales. It isn't hard. Like, you have a pre-written story. Just make a movie based on it. You did it in the 90s. Just do it again. Like, come on.
We have to have Cruella 2.
Tuella, yes.
Tuella. And the Lilo and Stitch remake, and the Tron sequel.
And the Robin Hood remake they're allegedly making.
And the Moana live-action remake, and the Snow White live-action remake, and the sequel to the Lion King live-action remake.
Is that
and
a prequel?
Inside Out. I don't know. It's another one.
I'm just gonna have that fade out, and that's gonna be the end of the
episode. It reminds me of that scene from Scream 4 where Hayden Panettiere's on the phone and like just listing off remakes until the end of time.
Hold on, let me keep it going. And the Once on This Island film, and the 1001 Nights film, and the Shrunk film, and the Sister Act 3 film, and the Father of the Bride film, and the Bambi live-action remake, and the Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day re-release, and the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad film, as well as the Hercules live-action remake, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame live-action remake, and the Inspector Gadget remake, as well as the Aristocats and the Parent Trap. Don't forget the Return of the Rocketeer, the Thief, Three Men and a Baby, Tink, which is a live-action film about Tinkerbell. Don't forget Untitled Cruella sequel, Untitled Fifth Toy Story film, Untitled Figment film, Untitled Jennifer Lee film, which of course is the wonderful director of Frozen 2 and the writer of Wish, Untitled Jungle Cruise sequel, Untitled Mulan sequel, Untitled Pirates of the Caribbean spinoff, Untitled Prince Anders film. If you don't remember, Prince Anders was Prince Ahmed from the Disney live-action remake of Aladdin. He's getting his own Disney Plus film. Don't forget the Untitled 6th Pirates of the Caribbean film. Don't forget the Untitled 3rd Frozen film. Don't forget the Untitled 4th Frozen film. Don't forget the Untitled 3rd Maleficent film.
Like that's ever gonna happen. What a load of... Sam.